My condolences to Kimbo Slice, partner, Antoinette Ray, and all his fans. It's a tragedy that at 42, his life is snuffed out, and I wish that he had made his call on the election sure before his death. However, the circumstances around his death or the cause of death has not been revealed. Well, I'm going to speculate on this. He won a fight and then he was disqualified because he had been using steroids. Now, steroids is very dangerous, and the type of fight that they do here in this mixed martial art and so on, it has kicking, punching, throwing, and all that stuff um, in the cage. Something like wrestling, and wrestlers also are dying. So he's among a few that have died recently, and probably more of them have died than in boxing. And so, I mean, I don't understand why we have to go to this barbaric level. Um, folks seem to like inhumanity to man, and so on. I watched a few of them, and I just got disgusted. I mean, I went through that kind of thing as a child growing up fighting. You get thrown down, you get choked, you get, punched, you get kicked and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes they bring in stones, bottles, and sticks. And I mean, it's not as kids fighting like this. These men are furious. I see the difference between this and boxing. When you get knocked out in boxing, well, I've never watched it, so I'm not sure the procedure. But the way this fight goes, it seems as if it's a fight to death. In boxing, if you get stunned, you get a counting to clear up your head a little bit. Referee asks you, is it okay? You know what time it is, you know where you're at, and so on. And if your head befuddled, he's kind of call it off. Because a lot of times injuries like this, continuing with an injury, could lead to death. Um, many people go into these fierce sports, they will tank up on painkillers so they don't want to feel pain. But pain is a way of telling you that an injury is happening, and perhaps some injuries are life threatening. So if you deaden the senses and you can't perceive the injury and the pain and the hurt and so forth, you could end up getting hurt more, especially hitting to the head and so forth, and you could die. I'm not sure what to do about this sport, whether controls or more rules are going to help it out. I don't see it's the necessity for it in this civilized world. The behavior is so barbaric, it's like wrestling too with the cage and the dog and the lion and all this stupid stuff. So it's a tragedy that, this brother had to go to that level to make a living. And I'm sure that he's aware of the consequences. And as I said, so many of them are dying that probably the authorities should take a look at the sport again and see whether they shouldn't, um, cut back on it. And even in boxing too, the gloves seem to be special. Um, it seems to me that they use a different type of um, glove situation. It's not as the boxing. So boxing seems to have more rules, and the guy's health and safety are a paramount consideration. But this mixed martial art thing, it's just about being barbaric, and for people who like seeing inhumanity, demand to be jumping up and having fun with it. So um, it's if there's something that could have been done to save this brother's life, probably it would be inappropriate. However, with this steroid use and with the kind of pounding you get in your head and you get thrown down and choke and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's rather fortunate that in every card you don't have somebody dying because man, I looked at one of those fights and I said, it broke my heart. And it's not to necessarily say that it's something of courage. It's just more like stupidity. I mean, why would you expose yourself to that kind of vicious beating for a couple bucks and then you end up, paralyzed or dead, and your family and others going to be spending that money up going all over the world and doing facelift and all kind of um, butt 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 booty booty tuck and all kind of stuff. So protect yourself at all times, man. Don't get involved in this kind of wild, bestial kind of barbaric inhumanity demand sport because it's dangerous.